Good morning, Standard 5. Today's lesson is lesson number 10, found on page number 130. The title is Uncle Richard's New Year Dinner. Uncle Richard's New Year Dinner. Now, this lesson was written by Lucy Montgomery. They tell us that she is well known for the writing of a book or as a publisher of a book called Annie of Green Gables. Now, they tell us that she's a very good author who has brought out around 500 short stories, and she's appreciated for that. Now, today's lesson is a story about two brothers. Their names are Richard and Irving. These two brothers had a quarrel or a fight and had stopped speaking to each other. Richard, one of the brothers, lived alone. The other brother, Irving, had a daughter, and her name was Prissy. One day, when Prissy went to the store to buy matches is matchbox, she happened to see Uncle Richard. And since it was Christmas Eve, she wanted to run happily and wish him a happy new year. But then she realized that these two brothers, that is Richard and Irving, had fought with each other and had stopped talking to each other. So she didn't go ahead. But then she heard her Uncle Richard telling the shopkeeper that he had to cook his dinner after reaching home. After that, Uncle Richard took his car and went to the town. Prissy had come on a holiday to her father's house and wanted to spend a quiet, lazy Christmas with her father. But when she saw how unhappy her uncle looked, she thought of a plan. She wanted to make him happy. She took the matchbox that she had bought from the store, kept it in the kitchen in her home, and started walking towards her Uncle Richard's house, which was just half a mile away. The idea that came to her mind was to make her uncle happy by cooking him a dinner. Before he returned from the town, she wanted to do this secretly. Prissy slowly went to Uncle Richard's house and entered his house from the woodshed. Woodshed is a place where firewood is stored. She entered the house. The door of that woodshed was not closed. She entered slowly into the kitchen and found that there was fire in the stove and there were vegetables in the pantry. A pantry is a storeroom where things are stored. So she found vegetables in the pantry. Then she realized her uncle loved pudding. So she searched for raisins. When you say raisins, raisins are dry fruits like cashew nut, dry grapes, etc. She found the raisins too. Very soon, Prissy managed to cook up a nice, delicious dinner. It was already 12 in the afternoon, so she thought to herself that she would lay the table before the uncle arrived. She wanted to lay the table. When you say lay the table, it means to set the table by keeping all that she had cooked for that day on the table. She wanted to keep that on the table and quietly slip away before the uncle arrived. Prissy just set the table and suddenly she was about to leave when she heard a voice that was rough and quiet. And what it said was, "What does this mean?" That means to say that her uncle had already arrived. Then Prissy turned and said, she just told him that she had heard him tell the shopkeeper that he would be spending New Year all alone. And so she decided to cook dinner the way she cooked it for her father and herself. As soon as the uncle heard what she did, the uncle was filled with happiness. The Uncle Richard asked Prissy to sit down and have dinner along with him. As they were having dinner, Prissy told him that his brother Irwin loved him very much. Uncle Richard was very happy that his niece Prissy had cooked for him, and he really felt sorry for having fought or quarreled with his brother Irving. He said that he wanted to come and speak to them, but he felt ashamed because there was pride in him, and that is why he couldn't do or say sorry or admit it that he was doing something wrong. He asked Prissy, "Go and tell Irving that I am very sorry." He told Prissy to tell Irving this. Then Prissy invited Uncle Richard to come and spend time with him, with both of them. Uncle Richard was happy. He was happy that the new year brought his family back together, and thus he felt that when they wished him Happy New Year, he felt the new year is really happy because it has already brought him happiness by bringing his family together. There's a saying that says, "A family that eats together stays together." Now, this is the story that you have heard. Your work or the model that you learn from this story is this new year, make sure you help members of your community in one way or the other. This will help you achieve a lot of happiness. Thank you.